Purrrple Hyacinth is returning soon. After a 6-month break, I'm sure many are excited for what's to come in Season 3. But if, like myself, you have the attention span of a goldfish, you might be asking, what even happens? Over 2 seasons and 100+ episodes, a lot has happened in this thriller mystery series. With shifting character arcs, alliances, secret identities, hidden agendas, mysterious rebellions, and anarchist groups, today we're taking a look over the entire series to catch you up to what's important before getting into Season 3. Our series takes place in the Kingdom of Ardalis, and follows Officer Lauren Sinclair, our main character. Officer Sinclair is rather obviously part of the Ardalis Police Department, alongside her friend Lieutenant William Hawks and Sergeant Kim Ladle. Now, there doesn't really appear to be magic in this world, no supernatural abilities or anything like other types of Webtoon series. However, the only difference is that our main character Lauren does possess an interesting ability. She can discern when someone is telling a lie. As to the readers, it appears as red text. Now, the major factions in this story is Ardalis with the Ardalis Police Department, and the main opposing force of the entire series, the Phantom Scythe. The Phantom Scythe is a criminal organization introduced right away in episode 0, and again in episode 2, we're properly introduced to them. For a decade, they've terrorized Ardalis City. No one has ever seen their leader. Terrorists, thieves, killers, all united. We call them the Phantom Scythe. The Phantom Scythe, a terrorist organization that, while their plans are unclear, we get to hear some theories about them. By announcing themselves in clear opposition to the monarchy, the Phantom Scythe sent a very strong message. They would consolidate power in the dark until the day they can overthrow the crown and the class hierarchy it relies on. This group is an anarchist criminal organization that wants to overthrow the crown and the hierarchy, and their best weapon is what the series is named after, the Purrrple Hyacinth, a dangerous and ruthless assassin, one that the Ardalis Police Department has never even come close to apprehending. Someone who leaves behind a signature Purrrple Hyacinth at the scene of his crimes, presumed to be a way to taunt the kingdom that uses Purrrple Hyacinths in their crest. However, things change when Lauren Sinclair is able to chase down and eventually catch up to the infamous assassin, unmasking the killer, but isn't able to make the arrest. Instead, the Purrrple Hyacinth, who goes by Kieran, makes Lauren an offer to join forces, to help each other out, and take down the leader of the Phantom Scythe. As a part of the Phantom Scythe, Kieran would have more pull and information than any member of the police department. And Kieran knows that Lauren is smart, skilled, and has a special way of reading people, but most importantly, her hatred. I'm sure all your fellow police officers despise the leader, but not nearly as much as you do. Your hatred, it's personal. Revenge quest, right? So tell me, who died? Someone in your family? Someone you loved? A close friend, perhaps? Jackpots. 10 years before the start of the story was a turning point for Lauren, as she was there during the first Phantom Scythe attack, the Allendale train station bombing, where she lost her best friend in the explosion, blaming herself, believing that she could have saved him. When Kieran offers an alliance to take down the leader, at first Lauren is hesitant, understandably. This isn't just a criminal, but one of the most dangerous killers out there, a killer with seemingly no moral compass. However, Kieran's proven right, as Lauren sees that the Phantom Scythe isn't something that can be taken down by normal or even legal means. So if she needs a partner with the dangerous and infamous Purrrple Hyacinth, then so be it. They work together under the guise of 2 gentlemen under one name, Loon. Under Loon, they do some impressive stuff, like get enough evidence to arrest Mick Trevor, someone who the Ardalis Police Department has always struggled to pin down, and other criminals that they know have a connection to the Phantom Scythe, but have always eluded them. However, things start to change. Yes, the strange pairing of an assassin and an officer start to understand each other a little more. However, where things really change is with Harvey, a mainly unimportant character, working in records in the Ardalis Police Department, but also had a side job: spy for the Phantom Scythe. That was until they deemed him unnecessary, killing him off. Here we see something important, mainly how useless the Artless Police Department is, as someone they hired and then had die on the job was a spy without them even knowing it, but also establishes that the Phantom Scythe is everywhere and that they are unafraid of getting messy, which things get, as the Phantom Scythe send Kieran under the guise of the Purrrple Hyacinth to infiltrate the tower, the most highly guarded section of the prison, to kill the guards and the inmates, especially the ones that have Phantom Scythe connections. After this, the Loon team kind of takes a break. Lauren realizes how much of a monster Kieran is, and Kieran calls Lauren out for being a hypocrite. Officer Sinclair wasn't always just Officer Sinclair, but Detective Sinclair. Lauren was a talented detective, however, always had trouble convincing others she knew when others were lying, and eventually that excitement and overeagerness got her demoted. Lauren often blames herself for others' deaths and misfortunes. Her parents, her best friend, anyone she couldn't save. So, even without the help of Kieran, she's still on the hunt for the Phantom Scythe, bugging a meeting with Phantom Scythe members, learning that one of the apostles, basically like the board of directors under the leader, is planning a coup d'etat, planning on overthrowing the leader of the Phantom Scythe, and they're bringing enough nitroglycerin to blow this backward country's bombs out of the water. And the Allendale tragedy will look like a tiny sparkler compared to what's to come. But unfortunately for Lauren, she isn't the only one who wanted to spy on this meeting, as Kieran also appears. Eventually getting stuck in a storage closet together, they don't necessarily make amends, however apologies were said. After this, Team Loon is back, kind of. Neither have really forgiven each other, but with a literal time bomb over their heads, they have no choices to yet again join forces. Unfortunately, they aren't the only duo that's formed, as Lauren's friends, Lieutenant William Hawks and Sergeant Kim Ladle, have been selected to track down Loon. But that's not all, as a new, old player has emerged, or I guess re-emerged. The Snapdragons, a group that predated the Phantom Scythe, however had a lot in common with them, believing in a more equal society. However, they used peaceful methods. Maybe that's why they were forgotten or unheard of. Their peaceful methods didn't leave an impact on the people they needed to impact. But that still didn't stop them from trying. That still didn't stop Lauren's parents from trying. That's right, Lauren's parents, Rachel and Alexander Sinclair, were part of the Snapdragons. But that's not all, as the Snapdragons were still illegal, basically spreading truths about the old royals in the old kingdoms. So they tried to silence them. But even with their efforts, the Snapdragons didn't just die off, they changed and became something worse. The Phantom Scythe. Lauren's parents were higher-ups who knew the leader. They were the apostles I mentioned before, killed off by the leader for currently unknown reasons. They joined the Snapdragons to make a change, but maybe they were against the turn that the Phantom Scythe made. Maybe they just wanted to leave, but no one leaves the Phantom Scythe alive. But unfortunately, Lauren isn't given enough or really any time to process any of that, as there's a big batch of nitroglycerin that's about to make one of the most destructive Phantom Scythe attacks look like a big sparkler, as well as one giant stockpile of weapons that can start a revolution and a coup d'etat. And with Team Loon finally back together and knowing where to strike, they go on the offensive. However, nothing is ever that easy, as the start date has been pushed up. So with the Phantom Scythe ready to start their revolts, the Artless Police Department on their way, and Loon being in the weirdest middle ground possible, all three parties end up in a massive fight. Most of our heroes end up badly beaten or damaged, and with a time bomb and enough nitroglycerin to reduce an entire neighborhood to smoke, Loon takes a massive risk, bringing the bomb as far away from the nitroglycerin as possible. They succeed, however the timer is still ticking, and as they're holding the bomb, it counts down to 0. And as it hits 0, but that's all you need to know heading into Season 3. So I hope I'll see you there when it's released. That's all for today. So like always, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you next week. Take care.